Have you ever sat down and wondered or thought about how good one of these Kohler K-Series is? Some of these motors are pushing 70 years in 70 years old. But have you ever sat down and wondered the abuse that some of these old Kohler K-Series stand up to? This right here is Carl. Carl sat for actually 10 years outside. Somewhere in that 10 years, he ended up going to a parts yard to suffer the life of living outside and having to fend for his poor self. This poor little motor, with your kind donation of $1 a day, that is $12 a year. If you do $12 a month, if you do $1 a month, that's 12 months. That's $1. That's $12 a year. For your kind donation of $1 a month, you could help save one of these little Kohler K-Series. This here is Sam. Sam was forced to sit in the weeds with a dirty air filter and no oil in him. Suffered the life as well of living outside and being abused. Now look at him. He runs now. He's been getting used and he's nice and happy. And this engine was sponsored by somebody in our little foundation. This engine right here, his name is Bob. Bob suffered the life of being rebuilt by a teenager who didn't know what he was doing, and he ended up offsetting his timing, and now he has trouble starting in the cold especially. This is another one that you could sponsor and help us save. This poor K-Series right here suffered from lack of oil, being abused, and it suffered smoking. This motor is another motor that was sponsored and saved. He ended up, after the abuse, somebody ended up taking the spark plug out to see what was wrong with him, and the poor guy ended up getting his head blown out. That is some of the abuse that these sad little Kohlers go through in their lives, in their short lives. This one got a new head thanks to a donator and a new carburetor, and he now lives on with his rebuilt engine. This is Kevin. Kevin was living the good life on a John Deere 110. Now he unfortunately suffers the fate of living on a Squeers. That is the worst place to be for a Kohler K-Series. So as I said before, with your helpful donation of $1 a day, you could help give this good little K-Series a new and better home. This is Pete. Pete lived a really good life in a tractor. He has 540 something hours on him. Now unfortunately, he suffers the life of sitting here on the ground, waiting for somebody to sponsor him and give him a new home. This here is Alfredo. Alfredo's previous owner was an alcoholic. He took Alfredo's tractor and he pulled it apart and he sold pieces and parts off of him to serve his alcoholic needs. And then after he couldn't get any more money out of it, he sold the rest. So you can sponsor this engine and give him a new life and possibly a new home. Here are some of the other Kohler K-Series that you can sponsor and help give them new lives. We will send you a picture of the engine that you are sponsoring, as well as a little card. And every time we get a donation from you, we'll send you a picture of that same engine that you sponsored and tell you how far along it is in its saving. This here is Steve. Steve is a 12-horse Kohler K301. Steve suffered from rings. All he needed was new rings. His previous owner, however, didn't know what they were doing, ended up taking him completely apart and stripping him for parts and making a profit off of him. Don't be like Steve's previous owner. With your kind donation of $1 a day, or $1 a month, you could help us save poor engines like Steve. With your helpful donation of $1 a month, you can join in and help us save a K-Series, like this little guy right here. And while you're on there helping us sponsor an engine, please keep these poor shrouds in mind. With your kind donation, you could give one of these shrouds a new home and a new engine. If you would like to know where to donate, go to www.thisisascam.com and you will be able to donate for our little Kohler friends there. Hope you guys consider donating. Drive around. Have enough energy to come out here to the shop for once. Hey guys, how's it going? Previously, for about the past 2 weeks, I have not exactly been feeling all that well. I came down with a cold. I think last week it was because of the 60 degree days we had. We had 30 degrees. Then the next day it was 40 degrees. The day after that it was 64 or 65 degrees. And then the day after that it went back down to 30 with snow. I really haven't been feeling all that well the past couple weeks. Right now I'm starting to feel a hell of a lot better than I did before. I feel like I could kick somebody's ass again if I wanted to. What we're going to do today is we're just going to start off kind of small. I have been filming videos, but some of them don't get uploaded because I just didn't really like how they turned out. And then some videos got out. For example, the video on the ultrasonic cleaner got out. I uploaded that last Wednesday. Actually, I uploaded that today. Going to be getting back into the 140 here soon. I did start filming that video. I have not finished that video yet. It is still... I started on it. I got the carb pulled apart for it, but right now it's just kind of sitting over there. I lost interest in it. I didn't really lose interest in it. I just kind of got tired and went in the house. So what I want to do today is I want to start another project that's probably not going to get done. 312. If you guys have been around the channel or on my Mike's channel, this tractor, this has been a very good tractor. I've been using it a hell of a lot more than I used to, especially now since I can finally use it. I've almost had this tractor now for just about a year. It has earned its keep around here in the time I've had it. I really like this tractor. I've really gotten a heart for this tractor. It's got a place here. It's definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. For a tractor that I dug out of a parts yard, it's been doing me really well. I've also been really impressed with the Cub. I know that you guys have seen that tractor on the channel several times. We've done a lot with the Cub. I really like the Cub as well. I've really started to like my hydrostatics. They've been doing me pretty well. I still like my gear drives though. The 73 is dominant right now. That is the one that gets used for just about everything around here, but since it had that bad transmission, I really haven't been able to do much with it, so it's just kind of, I got to get back into using it again. Just right now I haven't. And of course I do use it though, but lately for the past month, actually the past couple weeks, I haven't really been able to use any of the tractors. Last time that they ran was, I want to say it was 2 days before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was Thursday. Today is Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday, so it'll officially have been a week. Sometime here soon I do want to come back out here and start the tractors up. I'll probably end up making it into a video, just cold starting everything, seeing if it starts. You guys saw the 312 start. That's the first time I've really ever had an issue getting this tractor to start. It usually fires right up, but of course sitting for about a week in a 40-degree shop really doesn't help. He just tried to attack me. Sitting in a, well actually it's not quite 40, it's 45, somewhere around there. About 45-degree shop doesn't really help much at all. Of course it's 30, I think it's 32 last time I checked outside. It's been snowing at the same time. It's been kind of raining today. I've been hoping to make some videos for you guys, but hoping to make some videos with the tractors and doing some snow plowing, but unfortunately I haven't really been able to do it, and I really haven't wanted to do it. But now I've got a little bit more energy to me, so I should be able to do some more videos for you guys. Anyway, so what we're going to be doing today is I want to get back into the tractor spirit. It's been a couple weeks since I've worked on a tractor. 312, I know it's been on the channel. It's been a very good tractor. Try to stay on the rails and not go off them again. Something's rubbing. I don't know what. If it used to just be if you go over a little hill. If you go over a hill, you'd notice it, but now it just seems like it does it quite a bit. The frame, I'm not sure if it's the frame twisting or not, but underneath the tractor on the back of the PTO shaft on the high charge pump, there's a fan on there, and there's a little shroud under there. Here's what I'm talking about. Right there on top is the charge pump. This is the charge pump. That's the PTO shaft right there. And then right there's the input shaft. What it's doing is, I'm not sure if it's the fan hitting on the little shroud underneath of there. There's a little shroud underneath the fan. I know if you guys have seen this channel and this tractor, you know what I'm talking about. There's a little shroud under there. It's got a couple flat edges and it goes down like a U. Basically, what I think is happening is I think that shroud is a little bit bent, and it is causing it to hit, the fan blades are hitting on that shroud. I'm not sure if that's what's happening or not. It could be something else, but I think that's pretty much what I've narrowed it down to. I'd also like to get some bolts up here in these two front holes and some spacers. I don't think I've ever had a bolt in either one of those holes right there, and I think it might help out a little bit. As well as eventually I'd like to replace this fender pan, but I'd like to straighten it back out. This tractor, as far as I know, is original paint, not original tires. The engine's original. Everything's pretty much original except for the seat. I put that seat on there. These two front tires, the two rear tires. The transmission is different. I put that transmission in it because the other one had a seal leak and I didn't want to screw with it. I am going to screw with it one of these days, and I'm going to have an extra transmission. I would probably end up putting that transmission back in here though, but transmission swapping a 300 series is a pain in the ass. I put the dual brakes on it, that's not factory. Yeah, other than that, it runs pretty good. So, like I was saying, it makes a noise. I'm thinking the fan blades are rubbing on that little shroud, or the shroud up on top. So I want to go in there and I want to pull the fender pan off, and I want to look and see if I can see any marks in the bottom shroud or the top shroud, and just find out where exactly it's having the issue at. And then I'll probably end up taking a ballpoint hammer or just a hammer and a punch and going down there and kind of beating on where it looks like it's been scratching it, and just try to bend it back a little bit to get it away from the blades on that fan. 8 minutes. We're going to fix that. So yeah, let's go on ahead and get into it. If you've been around this channel, you probably know how to take the fender pan off of one of these tractors. Now I'll show you how to do it. I know I've shown it before how to take the fender pan apart off of one of these tractors, but I figured I'd film it just for somebody who's never done this before. What the fuck? Come on. Okay. Did I mention I don't quite have all my strength back? If not, now you know. Alright, we should be able to get it off now with this, with these channel locks. There we go. Got a 317 around back. I'm thinking of what I want to do with it. I think I'm just going to end up pulling it apart. So here's my question for you guys. Is anybody out there interested in seeing a video on taking that 317 apart and just, I don't know, going over it and seeing how it looks and just taking it apart? I'm sure somebody out there, or hell, maybe you've got a 317 and you want to know how to remove the engine or replace something on it. If you're interested, let me know. The transmission has already been removed from it. It's in this tractor, as I said before. So it's not complete. However, it does still have the engine, as well as it really doesn't have a whole lot, but it's almost complete, all except for everything in the rear end, pretty much. The fender pan's gone, the transmission's gone, but yeah, so let's get these bolts out of the back of this. And of course, being me, I only have one battery for my camera still, so my battery's dead. I haven't been charging it, which sucks. It's been about a week since I've been out here, so actually I'm lying. I have been out here in the past week. I really haven't ran anything, but I've just kind of been coming out here to check on the shop and make sure that everything's looking okay and that nobody's breaking in. I had a dream about that a couple nights ago. Somebody had broken into the shop. It was a couple kids. They didn't know who I was, but they came out here and they were going to cause some pretty serious harm to the shop. So ever since I had that dream, I've just been coming out here during the day and checking on it, even if I don't plan on doing anything out here that day. I've just been coming out here to make sure that everything looks okay and nobody's out here. Oh, we gotta remove the gas tank as well. Which sucks, but I don't think we'll be in any trouble. So let's take a look. Let me put my gas cap back on here. I also want to see where this is leaking, because I've noticed a puddle underneath this tractor a couple times. Not often I catch a puddle underneath of it, but I have caught a puddle underneath of it a couple times, so I would like to find out what the deal is. Alright, what's going on with you? And I already think I see where it's rubbing. So, yeah, this shouldn't be too horribly hard to figure out. Alright, just stay right there. So let's take a look at this. One of the spots I'm seeing, and I'm sure you guys can see it too, is right there. You guys see it? Look right there on the bottom of this little fan right here. That looks okay. That's not supposed to be loose. That's not good. Oh boy. We might be into something. Let me get this tin off of here. And after I get that tin off there, we'll dig into it a little more. Fuck it. Let's see. So what's the deal with that? Let's take a look at the bottom of this. I don't see anywhere it was rubbing. You'd normally be able to see it on there. I don't see it. So I don't think it's been rubbing on top. I think it's been rubbing down on bottom. I can actually see it right there on that blade. On that blade. I can see it just on that. Oh, well. Can't really get it where it was without the bolts, can we? So let's see. What do I want to do? I've had the thought a couple times of just taking this shroud out. I keep forgetting that there's no... That shroud looks like it's twisted. Let's take this. Stick these bolts in here. That way they can hold it in place where it would normally be when it's running. And after we do... Of course that's leaking now. Yep, look at that. Let me grab my siphon real quick. I'm not fucking with it. Of course, gas is too expensive right now to... Camera's not fully charged, but hopefully it should last me a little bit longer. I drained the gas out of this fuel tank right here. I'm sitting here looking at this. I can see where it was rubbing. One spot right there. So I'm going to take this hammer and my little punch, and I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to hit on that a little bit. And we're going to see if we can get this to move. Not trying to smash this up, but I'm just trying to, I can see it right there too. I'm just trying to bend this shroud a little bit to get it away from the blades. I need something better. I grabbed this little bit holder. I have it closed all the way. I'm hoping if I'm careful I won't damage it, but I guess we'll just have to see. We'll come over here, see what that looks like. That definitely looks better. I do have the bolts in here to keep it from wandering away. It's still leaking. But I mean, no matter how much you play with it, it's not touching it. I would like to hit this a little. How's that look? That looks a lot better, actually. So hopefully now, we should be okay. So now I got to figure out what I'm going to do about this fuel line. Apparently it's ripped. Ripped. How bad is it? Where is it? The valve. I can't really tell what it is. The line looks okay. Let's see, there is still gas in there. I don't see it leaking. That's on the wrong side. I think it was just the way that I had it angled in there. It was pulling on it, making it leak. Hopefully that was the issue. Let me get those nuts or those bolts loose. And while I'm in here, I actually would like I don't see anything leaking. I can't even get to that. Even if I needed to, I can't get to it because of this shroud in here being in the way. I could take that shroud out. It's not hard to do. Let's move this. Oh, that's not gonna let me. Let's move. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I don't see anything leaking, so that's good. I don't see any drips. So that's a good thing. It could have just been pulling it in an odd way and making it leak a little bit, but I'm not seeing any drips or anything underneath the tractor. Battery light's flashing. I want to put my gas back in it and I'm gonna let you guys charge for a minute, and after you guys are done charging for your little while, I'll bring you back in here and we'll start with, I want to go on ahead as well and get into the brakes and just kind of check the brakes out and adjust them. So I'll be right back. So let's take a look at this brake linkage. I'm pretty sure you guys can see it on your screen. I stuck the battery on the charge and I let it charge. Let's pop this pin out. There we go. Hopefully. It was moving earlier. I came out here to look at it. I thought it did. Maybe it didn't. Let's try again. Maybe this time we'll get it to move. Trying to stay out of the way of the camera, of course. It's going to be one of those. Okay, so it does want to, there it is. Now it wants to move. There we go. I see, it was caught in there. Okay, so let's take this. We probably ought to take this tire off, but we'll be able to get it without. Alright, we might be in for some fun. Okay, that should be. I don't want to twist that linkage up, so I'm going to grab it right here. I bet you if this wheel wasn't here, this would actually be a little easier. Where do you see it? I think right now I should be tightening it. I hope I'm tightening it at least. Oh, fuck. Bitch. Well. Shit happens. Alright, well. Let me grab another pair of bicycles. Now let's try this. We should be able to move that. Yep, that's going the way I want. Not sure exactly how far in I want it to go. We'll probably go in one more turn. Probably right there. It's probably actually right where I want it. So let's see. Let's try that. Let's see what that does. Oh, right there is right where it starts engaging. Hopefully I didn't go too far, but I think that hole has a little bit of slop in it. Should have a little bit of slop in it. So maybe it'll decide it wants to work for me. Which side's big? Looks like this. You know, this would be a lot easier if this tire wasn't here. But of course, I don't want to remove the tire because I don't want to fight with putting it back. Which it's not hard to put a tire back on, but I just don't want to mess with it. I don't quite have the ambition right now to remove a tire. And I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Okay, so I think when I bent that, of course, again I need a longer screwdriver because I don't have any room. What all do you guys see? Oh, how convenient. The battery light's flashing. I'll just leave you right there. I'm hoping all you guys see isn't just my head. I'm hoping that you actually can see what I'm doing. Okay, what the fuck? Of course, I get it where I want it, and then go back to square one all over again. Alright, I see. I see what we're doing. And again, if this tire wasn't here, but then I gotta get a jack and a socket, and I gotta take the tire off, and then I gotta grab that same jack, same socket, put the tire back on, and I don't want to do that. I just want to get this done. Let's see. No. Let's just do this. Let's find one. This one's. So now that I have figured that out, I've lost my pin. take this back off here, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a bend. I think I need to bend it down some. On second thought, I just want to do this. Man. The one that I want is gone. And yes, I will be honest, doing this on a tire isn't quite a good idea. Maybe, since we've done that, but we still don't have a way to hit on it. Get it together. There it is. Am I good? But of course it didn't. Maybe we'll take this off. I ended up doing the other side off camera. The battery ended up dying on me. I ended up having to drill out the mount. The thing ended up going out around on me for whatever reason. So I just grabbed a size up and drilled it out. Let's take a look at this one. Actually, before I do, grab my tools. But yeah, that one I ended up having to bend, which I don't want to end up having to do that with this one. Bent it and then ended up drilling it, so. Fuck it, we'll just keep the spring. I'm not fucking with it. So let's see. This one needs to be tightened for sure. There we go. Definitely doesn't quite move as nice as the other one, but I mean it is okay. This should hopefully straighten itself back out. This linkage. And I know that that spring comes off there, but I'm not pissing with it. I fill with springs. Alright, fix this. So it needs to be bent this way. I know it needs to be bent back a smidge. That's good. There we go. hopefully now, that bow should come out of that. It should come out of that linkage here after I use it a few times. Depending on how the weather is and how cold it is outside right now, I might take this out and film. I'm feeling pretty good right now. Definitely a lot better than I have been, so I might consider taking this tractor out and playing around with it a little, seeing how this brake does. So let's try that. Ready? Oh, that's a hell of a lot better than it was before. Definitely. So yeah, I'm happy with that for sure. So I'm going to put this battery on the charger and I'm going to get the fender pan put back on. And I guess after that we'll take this out and try driving it around and see how the brakes are. Last time you guys were here, we were working on this 312. It's actually been a couple days. Last time you were here, we adjusted the brakes on it as well as tried to solve the issue with that fan. I guess what we're going to do today is we're going to take it out. We're going to try the brakes out, see how the brakes do, and while we're at it, go over some trees and see if we can get that frame to twist. So let's see what happens. I got the 312 out here. Let's try it out and see how it does. Try it on this. This is about like what we tried on last time and it did it. There goes the bunny. we might have it fixed. Yeah, see all the ice? That's where I was before. I expected to be out of the ice though by the time I got up on that little hill. So, cool. Seems like we got it working good. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And I also hope you guys enjoyed that little skit I made at the beginning of the video. I thought that was kind of funny. I'd been thinking about that for the past couple days. I saw one of those shelter commercials where they talk about these animals and what happened to them and thought, you know, that'd be kind of cool to do with Kohler case series, because a lot of that does happen with some of these. So I figured I'll raise a little awareness to it and make it kind of funny at the same time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I was finishing it kind of late. I need to get it uploaded tomorrow. I'd like to do a little bit more with that skit that I made, but unfortunately I can't because this needs to be up tomorrow. I could put that in another video, but I already mentioned it in this video. So this is the video it's going to be going in. I want to thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. I don't normally talk about this a whole lot, but I was looking at the YouTube statistics because I was curious. I normally keep this to myself, and a lot of people talk about this, and I don't really like it when they do because it seems like they're begging for subscribers, so I don't normally do it. I was looking at my statistics on YouTube, and according to YouTube, 90% of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed. So please consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps the channel out a lot. It tells me that you guys like my videos and what I do. And it gives me a little bit more inspiration to keep going with these videos and make more for you guys and make little skits and pull out stuff from parts yards like I did with this 312 and the home light in there. Speaking of the home light, here soon we are going to be getting into that. Stay tuned for that video. I don't know when that's going to start being gotten into. I haven't started tearing into it yet. I have been thinking about it. I have been looking around for parts. I ended up finding a home light. It was a T16, a little bit nicer shape than that, but it had a few other problems relating to the engine. I don't know if I'm going to end up buying it or not. If I end up getting that, that would be a good parts tractor for my home light, and also something to go off of for colors, figuring out what color things needed to be if it's painted right. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I think that is going to be it. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to do in this video or talk about, but I don't really think there is. So yeah, take care. Looking forward to the next video. See ya. Bye. This here is Steve and Martha. Steve is a 12-horse Kohler, standard bore, never been rebuilt. This right here is Martha. Martha is a Kohler K181, standard bore, never been rebuilt, missing 2 valves, missing a head gasket, missing an oil dipstick, missing a carburetor, and missing an oil pan. This motor was worked on by somebody who didn't know what they were doing before it was brought to our hospital for Kohlers. Didn't know what they were doing with it. Stripped it for parts because it didn't run right. When all it needed was a carburetor redone. Steve, right here, suffered lack of oil. Ended up having a little bit of scoring in the bore. All he'd have needed is to be bored out, actually even new rings, and he'd have been $1 a month. That's $1 of your paycheck. Nah, I don't want to say that. It's actually, if you look at it right now, all the mud on this Kohler tells you it's abused now. Because look at it, it's all covered in mud, it ain't been washed. And while you're on there helping us sponsor an engine, please keep these poor shrouds in mind. With your kind donation, you could give one of these shrouds a new home and a new engine. Go to www.saveacaseseries.com. That is where you can donate.